Hello to all over the world. On the other day, I gave a talk on YouTube, live talk on YouTube, but I left. There are two different things that I need to explain. One is Buddhajana in Pali terms, another is Arya. There are two groups of people taught by the Buddha, according to the Buddha's teaching. Buddhajana, one group, another is Arya. Puthujana means, it's a Pali word, of course, but Puthujana means those who are affected by the mental defilements, variety of mental defilements, such as greed, hatred, delusion. Those kind of people are very easily affected and predominated and overwhelmed by those kind of mental defilements, such as greed, hatred, jealousy, ignorance, prejudice and hostility, animosity, aversion, so many different kinds of, the mental defilements we call kilesa. So, Puthujana means those who are affected. Remember, this is very, very academic in technical terms. I just try to translate into the English to understand for those who really want to understand the Buddha's teaching, basically. So, Puthujana means those who are affected, predominated, or overwhelmed by too many different variety of mental defilements that is connected with the objects outside. For example, when you see someone you don't like, you feel immediately, you get affected immediately. And when you see you like it, you feel immediately affected. When you see something you don't like, you feel immediately dissatisfied. You feel immediately angry or something dissatisfactory. When you see something you don't like. And all at the same time, when you see also that when you see something or someone you like, you feel a little bit satisfied or greedy or like you want to be together, you don't want to lose it. That moment you are predominated, you are really predominated, affected, overwhelmed by those kind of mental defilements through the objects, through the sense doors connected with the external objects. This is called Puthujana. And look around the world. Those who are easily, naturally, automatically affected by a predominated or overwhelmed by those kind of mental defilements through the sense basis that is connected with the external object. They are called the Puthujana. Look, there's nothing to do with the Buddhism, or there's nothing to do with the Buddha's teaching. There's nothing to do with Buddhist or non-Buddhist. This is what the Buddha divide two groups of people in the world. Another one is, I left there, another one is Arya, A-R-I-Y-A, Arya. So that Arya means those who have, eradicated. Listen very carefully. This is very technical terms. That is very academic terms from Pali language. Arya means those who have eradicated, totally, perfectly eradicated all kinds of mental defilements. They are not affected by, affected by sense basis connected that object. Whenever they see like or dislike, of course, they feel like or dislike, but they can let it go immediately. Those kind of people are called Arya in the world. But those kind of people, Arya, are not really automatically born as Arya, but they have to develop, they have to cultivate their heart, their mind. They have to cultivate again and again by being aware and mindful of whatever rises and passes away within themselves. These people are well really practiced that is very well-known word, meditation. So Arya is from that group, Buddhajana. Arya has already eradicated all kinds of mental defilements. Those people are not really easily affected by or predominated or overwhelmed by those kind of mental defilements through the sense basis connected with the external objects. So I left. But the other days when I give a live talk on YouTube, that this is another one, another day that I am just trying to talk, leapt on that YouTube talk. Now this is something, again, the two groups that taught by the Buddha has never taught people to be a Buddhist. The Buddha has never trained people to be a Buddhist, but the Buddha has trained people. The Buddha has advised his people to be Arya from, coming from the Puthujjana, the other group. The Puthujjana is ordinary people. Arya means extraordinary. But these extraordinary people are not automatically born. Not automatically born, but they have been developed, they have been cultivated by practicing this meditation practice, particularly the mindfulness-based Vipassana meditation technique. This is so. And when people are asking, for example, the internet is, the possible to be used by Buddhism. And I said often that, okay, the Buddhism doesn't deny, but the internet is really, really amazing technology in these days. And you can use the internet and share your knowledge with even every corner of the world. You can just see from even Sweden, Norway, so far away from each other. But you can just see and listen and learn how to handle our defilements. I always say we are in the same boat. We are in the same boat, and we have to learn how to, how to paddle together, sharing by each other's values and each other's thought and each other's philosophy. That makes us really live together happily. That makes us really live together peacefully. And this is what we have to do when we are alive in this human world. Otherwise, we are not different from animal. Animal has no extended knowledge, Animal has no extended knowledge, but we human being has that extended knowledge. We can learn everything. We can cultivate, but animal is impossible to cultivate themselves. But we human being can cultivate our heart, our mind. But the Buddha doesn't say you have to be Buddhist. You have to believe. You have to believe in a certain kind of philosophy, certain kind of a system or ism. He didn't say this. But you have to train, you have to cultivate your mind to be better human being. But first you have to try to be good human being, then you have to try better human being, then you have to try perfect human being. Wow, how to be perfect? You have to first cultivate your heart, you have to develop your quality of moral quality, then you have to try to develop your concentration, the quality of concentration. And then finally, you have to cultivate to have that perfect wisdom that can see everything with understanding. And when you see things, everything wisely with understanding, then you can be okay with everyone. Then you can, first you have to understand what's going on inside yourself. When you're angry, to the sense basis connected with external objects, and you have to just observe that anger. How does it happen in you? And when does it come from? And where does it come from? And how does it rise in you? You have to just observe that anger. Finally, that anger is like a guest. It just comes and goes. It comes and goes. You have to but let it come when it is not possible to let it go, but let it come. But when it's an impermanent state. Anger is an impermanent state. When it comes with that, the object that you don't like, of course you feel angry or you feel dissatisfied. That moment you have to just observe interestingly that anger. Look, this is vipassana meditation. You know, these things of these days you can just learn in internet, through the internet. There are so many wise and educated people who use internet and share each other's values and thoughts and philosophy and way of life, try to create a network of peaceful society. Nowadays, if I have to say that by practicing mindfulness training, then mindfulness is very popular nowadays. Of course, it is taught by the Buddha, but this is something that is usable and acceptable and practicable by everyone. Not only Buddhist people, everyone can practice, everyone can do everything mindfully. This is mindfulness practice. But mindfulness trains you to be concentrated, to concentrate on something that you are particularly doing at the moment. This is not wisdom. Mindfulness is training you to focus on the particular moment, at present moment, at the moment that you are doing. But that doesn't develop wisdom. Another thing is vipassana. Vipassana is when you have a really good enough concentration, you have to transform, you have to switch on vipassana technique. You have to switch your attention to the vipassana technique. When the vipassana practice is achieved, you can see everything as they are. You can see everything clearly as they are, without judging, without naming, without labeling, without discriminating. Everything is the same. Everything is rising and passing away, rising and passing away. This is what we call vipassana meditation. So when anger, for example, when you are Uttachana, ordinary person, you can be easily affected by those kind of like and dislike objects through the sense basis, of course. However, when you know that practice of mindfulness-based vipassana meditation, you are affected, of course, when you see you don't like, you feel immediately something irritated or something angry. So you feel something dissatisfactory. But you have to observe it, focus on it, concentrate on that sensation inside yourself, that mind, that mental state inside yourself. At the moment when you are angry, you are defiled. Your mind is defiled, totally defiled. If you don't observe that what's going on inside yourself, look and listen very carefully. If you don't observe what's going on inside yourself at the moment, where are you going to observe, do you think? You will observe the objects that makes you dislike. You will observe the object that makes you dislike. And that's your dislike feeling becomes growing and growing and growing. Then you can control it. You react it. You make yourself worse and worse, and you make also the tense between the two persons that you are feeling dislike between each other. So therefore, the Buddha always guides us. He didn't say to be Buddhist, to believe in something, but you have to observe when you are at the moment angry with the object of dislike. Just to observe your anger. See interestingly. Observe that anger interestingly. That is disturbing you at the moment. That is making you unhappy at the moment. That makes you unhealthy at the moment. If you're not aware of this, how terrible it is to yourself. You will ignorantly let it grow in yourself. Then you get a blood hypertension, then you get a diabetes, then you get so many unhealthy issues and conditions caused by that kind of defilement, mental defilement, such as anger, greed, hatred, delusion, so many things. So this is the reason whenever you feel angry with the object of dislike, please observe that feeling of dislike, interestingly, that is called vipassana meditation. That is called mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. That anger is just rises at the moment. You don't know where it comes from, and you don't know where it will go. But it rises by no ignorance, through the sense basis, because you are not aware. When you're aware of that sensation inside yourself, it is just a second. You can just work, you can learn, you can see as it is, as it is. How it disturbs you. It's just a core meditation. Really interesting. When you when you feel something special, when you're angry, when you're feeling jealousy, when you feel hatred, when you feel hostility, when you feel nice, when you feel unhappy, when you feel lazy, those kind of all things are interesting to see, to observe exactly when it rises in you. This is called vipassana meditation. So I said that Ariya, in the Pali terms, Arya is those who has been well trained by following mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. This is called Arya. So Arya doesn't come from a heaven. Arya doesn't come from automatic birth, but it is really the being well trained in this life, well trained by mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. So Arya is the person, the people who came from that Uttaraja group, the ordinary people group. They are well trained. Their mind and their heart is well cultivated. And those people are joining meditation. Those people are interested in meditation. Those who are following that meditation very attentively, intensively, in a retreat can be called those who are following the path of Arya, those who will become Arya people, those who has totally, perfectly eradicated all the defilements. Those people are happy people. If they are affected by those kinds of like and dislike, but they can let it go immediately. They know this is really poison, like anger, desire, greed, hatred, jealousy, prejudice. Those kind of things are really poison. They just make you poisoning. They just make your mind unhealthy, sickening. And those area people are realizing these things are really poisoning. So I have to let it go. They understand. Their understanding is perfect at that moment. That perfect understanding doesn't come from God, doesn't come from reciting traditional text, reciting traditional prayer. But that perfect understanding is achieved by practicing that mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. So we all are normally Puthujjana, but to be Arya, we have to follow the mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. Therefore, remember here, in my experience of the Buddha's teaching, by both learning and practicing for more than 2 decades, I haven't never found that the Buddha taught to be a Buddhist. But he always tried to advise people to be, first to be good, second to be better, and third to be a perfect one. And when you are a perfect one, you're a totally happy person. And your life for your human life is totally meaningful. So to be perfect being, you have to just follow the mindfulness-based vipassana meditation. Maybe 10 days and 20 days and a month, and in 365 days of a year. And may all of you find time to follow the path, mindfulness-based vipassana meditation, and may all of you live happily by following the mindfulness-based based vipassana meditation, then you can be happy person in the world to be fully done. Thank you for listening all of this.